knew her as Miss Missy Jessup, and now Miss Missy Sherrill. She took over raffles ticket selling immediately, and also took over the triumph at the high school. And she was also Mrs. Jones' assistant when the chorus won 6 titles in Atlanta, Georgia in 2000, including overall champions. And I also learned from my scrapbooking that not only once, but also in 1994, this chorus also were national champions. Atlanta must really like us. If you remember, anybody who had Mrs. Jessup in 2000, she gave a very emotional and powerful goodbye speech and called Mrs. Jones her friend, and we were all bawling. Does anybody remember that speech? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Mrs. Horsley was Mrs. Jones' next assistant, and she also got quite a first-year experience. She got to go to the White House. Yes, the White House. Her and Mrs. Jones led the Magicals to sing in front of the President and the First Lady, who here was a part of that experience. Yeah, Melissa, I know you weren't. I wasn't there, but I've seen the pictures and news clips, and it looks pretty real, so. Yes, that was Mrs. Horsley, and also her first wave review was in 2001. That was also voted favorite by people our age, so. All right, Mr. Bryan Nichols took over after Mrs. Horsley, after Mrs. Jones, with Mrs. Horsley. And we all have to admit, if you have to take the job after Mrs. Jones, would you say you have big shoes to fill?
Yes.
Well, he did. But we have to say, I only saw the wave reviews he did, but I give him